99.3 Nigeria Info. Good morning to you, Lagos, Nigeria. Welcome to Dailies today. Yes, we're live from our studios here on Etim Inyang Crescent, Victoria Island, Lagos, Nigeria. Welcome. I'm Sheriff Quadry. Hope you had a great weekend. Let's begin. The papers are here, as you can see. Yep, if you're watching online on Facebook and YouTube, I know that you can see me holding the papers right now. So let's get to it. We've got them here. We're going to start with the Vanguard newspaper. Another explosion rocks gas facility in Rivers. Another explosion rocks gas facility in Rivers. The riders tension as Niger Delta militants reconvene. 5 days after suspension, Fubara appears in Port Harcourt. PDP BLT rejects, demands reversal of Rivers emergency rule. Support group blames Tinubu's decision on misinformation. Serap sues Tinubu over suspension. Emergency rule in Rivers sets dangerous precedent. NNPP chieftain. Imagine Rivers without state of emergency. Ononuga is responding. That story is on pages 8, 9, and 10. Shall we start from page 8? Let's begin that story from page 8. Then you can go pick up the paper and read further, right? Okay, so here we go. The story is right here on page 8. Okay, so it reads, barely a week after a major explosion occurred on the Trans-Niger pipeline in Bodo, Gokana local government area of Rivers State, another explosion has reportedly occurred at Soku oil facility in Akukutoru local government area of the state, raising the alarm on the latest development. The Youths and Environmental Advocacy Center, a grassroots non-governmental organization with a strong presence in communities across the Niger Delta, confirmed that it received information in the early hours of yesterday of an alleged explosion at Soku oil facility in Akukutoru local government area, operated by the Nigeria Liquefied Natural Gas (NLNG) Limited. In a statement in Port Harcourt, signed by the executive director, Dr. Fineface Dinamine, the group said it confirmed the explosion through its youth volunteers network in the area. According to the report, an explosion accompanied by fireballs was heard and seen in the sky from the facility area, which is hard to reach rather, and the fire is still ongoing at the time of this report. We can read further here. There's another story here. Emergency rule, fresh tension as Niger Delta militants reconvene. A secret report that militant leaders have regrouped at undisclosed Creek community to plan and coordinate collective attacks on oil facilities triggered fresh tension in the Niger Delta at the weekend. The gathering came a few days after President Bola Tinubu suspended the governor of Rivers State, Siminalayi Fubara, by declaring of a state of emergency last Tuesday. There you go. And we heard that the governor also surfaced in Port Harcourt. He surfaced, yeah. So you can read further. That story is on pages 8, 9, and 10 of the Vanguard newspaper. State of the nation. I don't know when we will have peace again. Ame Ebute. I don't know when we will have peace again. I mean, that's so deep, right? That is really, really deep. Inflation. Manufacturers record 90.6% rise in cost. Inflation. Manufacturers record 90.6% rise in cost. That story is on page 19. If you're a manufacturer, you can confirm or debunk this particular report. If you are interested, that would be it would be great to hear from you. Let's go to the inside pages now. Page 6 is where we are. Police inspector runs amok, kills 1, injures 2, hold colleagues hostage in Calabar. I mean, this is as weird can get. A police inspector, one Effiong Bassi, ran amok yesterday, shooting indiscriminately, killing one civilian identified as Mrs. Ijoma Obot and injuring 2 others in Calabar, Cross River State capital. The incident, Vanguard learned, occurred about 6 a.m. when the policeman who went to night beat at a microfinance bank in Calabar South returned to the Atakpa Divisional Police Station and allegedly started behaving strangely. Findings show that when the policeman returned from the beat, he allegedly refused to return the AK-47 he used for the night duty, but rather cocked the rifle and threatened to shoot his colleagues. Interesting development. Police Inspector runs amok, kills 1, injures 2, hold colleagues hostage in Calabar. A story is on page 6 of the Vanguard newspaper. If you're interested, you can pick up the Vanguard and read further. Okay, alrighty. Now let's take our last story from the Vanguard today. Okay. ECOWAS Highway Project, FG6 Stakeholders Cooperation in Lagos Corridor. ECOWAS Highway Project, FG6 Stakeholders Cooperation in Lagos Corridor. Federal Ministry of Works has asked stakeholders along the Agbara-Badagry axis to support the successful execution of ECOWAS Abidjan-Lagos Corridor Highway Project. Speaking at a stakeholders town hall meeting in Agbara weekend, the Federal Controller of Works, Lagos State Engineer Olukorede Kesha, called on residents, traditional ruler stakeholders, and others to align with government's policies for a seamless implementation. As long as people's livelihoods would not be ruined by this project, even if it's going to affect anybody, due compensation should be paid to them, and timely as well, to avoid any untold hardship on anybody. Well, you can read further if you're interested here to know exactly where this road would pass, exact places it would pass. You can read further. ECOWAS Highway Project, FG6 Stakeholders Cooperation in Lagos Corridor. 7:37. I'm going to drop the Vanguard right away. Let's go to the Guardian newspaper. Okay. Let's start with this story here. It's an important story. U.S. aid withdrawal, drug shortages, uncertainty squeeze HIV/AIDS, TB clinics nationwide. U.S. aid withdrawal, drug shortages, uncertainty squeeze HIV/AIDS, TB clinics nationwide. That story is on page 6. The writers, facilities ration antiretroviral cut 6-month supply to 1 or 3 months. HIV response under threat in FCT, 33 states, NEP1 says. FG pledges 700 billion naira to plunge foreign aid supply shortfall. So we don't, there's no, why are we pledging? What's the Ministry of Health doing? I mean, there's got to be some contingency plan. There's no time to pledge. People depend on these drugs immensely. Life depend on these drugs, the TB drugs, the HIV/AIDS drugs. I mean, we could have done something a long time ago without depending on the U.S. to support us on all of these. For how long do we even think that the U.S. is going to be able to be supporting African countries on these sort of things? The African leaders really need to start to know how to think ahead, to be visionary, because what they know how to do is just to loot and impoverish their people. The basic things of life for their people, they never get around to those ones. But if it is to line their master's pocket abroad, they can do all of that free of charge. I mean, since when? We're still pledging 700 billion. But we can throw money around to do this, to do unnecessary things. It's quite unfortunate. Concerns over constitutionality of suspension of tenured office holders in Rivers. A story is on page 6. They're talking about Fubara and the other people there. Yes, that's what the story is all about. Bakari Ezekwesili, proffer solutions to Nigeria's leadership crisis. Page 5. I guess we're beyond all that now. We know exactly what our problem is. We know exactly what our problem is, really. We do. Let's take this story here on page 5 of the Guardian newspaper. World TB Day. WHO says funding cuts threaten tuberculosis fight. That story is on page 5 of the Guardian newspaper for today, Monday. Alrighty. Okay. Now let's go take a look at our next paper this morning, the Daily Trust newspaper. I've got 2 more minutes left on the show. The Daily Trust is here. Reverse emergency rule. No quorum in Senate. Tambuwal. Others speaking there. A reverse emergency rule. No quorum in Senate. Tambuwal. Others. It's late now, isn't it? It's late. The writers say Jonathan Soyinka Wabara fault proclamation. Serap sues president. Action taken to avert chaos. Presidency. That story is on pages 3 and 4 of the Daily Trust newspaper. Tinubu Buhari Barau governors mourn as Katsina governor's mother is buried. We were threatened with beheading for plucking mangoes. Borno student. Sanusi Bayero plan rival Salah Durbar in Kano. That would be catastrophic. That story is on page 6, by the way. That would be catastrophic. Bandits killed 10 community guards. Vigilantes in Zamfara. Abducted naval officer, 2 others rescued in Nasarawa. Pupils sit on bare floor. Teachers on window in Abuja school. That story is on page 20. What a shame. What a shame. FCT Minister, yes, on Wike. What a shame. Let me say that the last time. Bandits. Okay, let's take this one here. Road accident claims 4 in Katsina. Unpaid minimum wage. FCT primary school teachers resume strike today. Unpaid minimum. Even federal workers have not been paid minimum wage. Oh my word! It's almost like somebody is putting everybody on a long team. You know, they announced minimum wage since when? All right, now let's take one last story. After this story, then we'll move on to go take your calls. Yeah. Okay. Here we go. Passengers clearance at Nigerian airport reduced to seconds. Immigration. If you passed through the airport recently, you may want to confirm this report. Passengers clearance at Nigerian airport reduced to seconds. Immigration wants you to know that. Okay. That story is in the Daily Trust newspaper. Let's come take your reactions right now. If you're watching on Facebook and on YouTube, I'd like to hear your thoughts on these stories that we have read to your hearing this morning. So you may want to go to Facebook and on YouTube, Nigeria Info 99.3, to share your thoughts. Okay, but if you'd like to call in, we've got mail only line, which is 0201 2770 993. That is mail only line 0201 2770 993. Female only line is 0201 465 7190. That is 0201 465 7190. That's for female callers only. WhatsApp number is 0809 597 5805 on WhatsApp. Everyone has got 60 seconds. That's a minute to share their thoughts with me. And please turn off your radio. Good morning to you. Okay, that call has dropped. Let me take another one. Good morning to you. Morning. I'm going to hang up. Let's take another one. Good morning to you.
Hello, good morning, Kofi.
Morning to you.
Hello, good morning, Kofi.
Good morning.
Yes, my name is Basi, calling you from Lekki.
Welcome, Basi.
I think it's the first time I'm calling on this show.
Good to have you.
I'm missing Uncle Jimmy Kiso. Kofi, I want to go straight to the River State crisis. I hope you're hearing me.
Go on, please. Go on.
Okay. I think the paper says militants are reconvening. It's not a surprising thing for me because I'm from the south. You see, I want to say Akwa Ibom State has been captured already by APC. That's the Senate President. And then this is what APC is trying to do also to River State, to capture River State. All the blame goes to the PDP because as far as I'm concerned, I am a very strong PDP member. All the blame goes to the PDP for not removing Wike from the beginning of time. Because I remember when the former vice president went for a campaign in River State. I remember when the former vice president went to campaign in River State.
You need to wrap up now. You've got 15 seconds left.
All right. So Wike did not give him the chance. But the present president had a campaign in River State. So militant, I think, is a welcome development. Thank you.
No, that's never a welcome development, actually. That's a disastrous development. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Mr. Sherry.
Good morning.
How was your weekend, sir?
It was okay, thank you.
This is Ubole on the line, sir.
You're welcome.
Mr. Sheriff, as you were reading these stories this morning, I can't help but wonder if we are caused as a nation or our leaders are the cause and cross that we have to bear as citizens of this country. From the story of children sitting on the floor to receive lectures in their classes, to being bedeviled by corrupt politicians who would rather siphon the nation's commonwealth than get drugs for their citizens, to the state of emergency that has been declared in Rivers State, and also to the insurgency and ineptitude happening all over this country. I just ask ourselves, what have we done to deserve this crop of leaders that will not give us air, reason to just breathe? Are we really caused as a nation or not? It's food for thought for all of us to just think about this morning. It's a shame, a total shame, and a global shame. Thank you very much, Mr. Sheriff.
Thank you, Mrs. Aboli. Thanks for calling. Good morning to you.
Hello, good morning, Mr. Sheriff.
Good morning.
How was your night?
It was okay, thank you.
Please, this is Joy from Epa.
Welcome, Joy. Welcome.
When you said our children are sitting on the floor in FCC, capital of Nigeria, where we used to have people, other countries coming to Nigeria. They will see our children sitting on the floor, where our money are being distributed there and there. It's a very big shame. Shame to this country. What are they planning for the children? What are they planning? Because their children are not here. Their children are abroad schooling. Most of them, their children are big private school. They don't care. They don't care for the poor. It's very, very big shame. Mr. Sheriff, enjoy your day.
You too. Have a great one. Thank you for calling. Good morning to you.
Hello, good morning, sir.
Good morning.
My name is Mr. Sam.
Mr. Who?
I'm calling from Atlanta.
Mr. Who?
Mr. Sam.
Mr. Sam.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
This idea of people sitting on the floor, children, is a very, very shameful thing for Nigeria. How can our children be sitting on the floor, teachers on the window? What are they going to say tomorrow? Please, it is a very, very shameful thing. Thank you.
Thank you too for calling. Let's take this one, then we go to social media to go take some comments. Good morning to you. Good morning. Let's take another call. Nigeria Info, good morning to you.
Hello.
Good morning to you.
This is Mr. Fucci.
You're calling the female line. Do try and call the male line, okay? Thank you. Nigeria Info. Let me go to this call here on the female line. Good morning to you.
Hello.
Good morning.
Hello, Sheriff.
Good morning to you.
Hello.
I can hear you. I can hear you.
Okay, you can hear me. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, I want to start by saying good morning to Mrs. Oboli. I always look forward to her comments. She's one of my great people on air.
Oh.
So, coming to Nigeria, well, May God help us. I'm Mrs. Khalid calling from Bogije. Yeah, so it's just so sad. I feel sad sometimes when I hear about Nigeria, I shed tears. Because Nigeria is such a great country full of great people. They've produced some of the most powerful people in Africa. So hearing all this just breaks my heart. You know, most of the small West African countries look up to Nigeria, just like the whole world look up to U.S. Nigeria is one of the countries that's supposed to be the biggest and richest, like our own little New York, in Lagos, in Abuja, you know. So I just feel sad hearing all of this. Each time I hear about Nigeria, I just feel sad because it's very painful. Having all these great people like yourself there, like Uncle Jimmy, like Mrs. Oboli, Barisa Olamide, every Saturday I listen to his program. These are great people that Nigeria has produced and other people before them. So I just feel sad. May God help us. I hope our leaders will be touched one day and just look back and ask themselves whether they are doing good or not.
Thank you.
I mean, it's so painful. I feel sad this morning.
Thank you. Thank you for
calling. I pray that God help us.
Thank you for calling.
That God help us. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you for calling. Appreciate it. Let me take this one then. Would come and take comments. Good morning to you.
Hello, good morning, Sherry.
Good morning to you.
This is Friday from Ibolere.
What's your story?
Let me talk about that policeman. That policeman was drunk. He was high. He took something. See, Sherry, go out in the morning, early in the morning. You see our security men in the bus stop. The way they take all these all these sachets and bottles. The other day we were going, a policeman that was sitting in the bus very close to the door. He was misbehaving. He was drunk. The driver had to stop and beg one passenger to allow the policeman to sit inside so that the passenger will sit very close to the door so that the policeman will not fall. That is from Okwafo to Abara. The policeman was drunk. The man said, look, what if I sit near the door? The policeman pushed me down. What will you tell my family? We have to park, Sheriff, beg this policeman to go inside the back seat so that this policeman will not fall, so that we will enjoy our journey, Sheriff. So all these policemen, they are taking something every morning. So it's not only area boys that are taking this thing. Police, even the military, they are taking it. It's time the authority find something about it too and do something about it. It is a shame to this country. Where we can, as the governor.
Thank you for calling me. Appreciate it. You got 60 seconds and you knew that. Okay, let's go take some comments very quickly. We've got this one here. Let's start with YouTube. Let's start with comments on YouTube. This caller. Let me take this call first, then we'll go to the comments. Good morning to you. Good morning.
Good morning to you.
Good morning, sir.
Wow. My name is Prince YS. Greeting you from Vanguard office.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much. You see, I want to talk about this issue frustrating Dangote. You know, to send $19+ billion to build a refinery.
I don't have any headline regarding that. Do you
want to, the paper you are talking about?
Do you want to pick another story?
Okay, can I talk about this the Asababini Express being the sign of yesterday?
No, I do not have that as well. But look, let me quickly go on and then take some messages very quickly. Then we can come back. You can call me back then. Share your thoughts on some other stories that we have. Okay, let me quickly do that. Please permit me to do that. Okay, all right. So I'm going to quickly go in. Let me take. Let me go in and take some thoughts that are here already. I have this one here that says. It says, good morning, Sheriff. The news on storage of antiretroviral drugs and TB drugs is very alarming. We're sitting on a keg of gunpowder, you mean. We have a massive population relying actively on these medications. We have a crisis on our hands. They are pledging this is witchcraft. We will have pandemic if this is not tackled. This is the main news of this morning. Teed from Lekki. Teed, I don't know if our people actually understand the crisis that we are in right now. Talking about this issue with antiretroviral drugs and TB. This is very, very important. As a matter of fact, instead of going to declare state of emergency in Rivers, this is what an emergency declaration should be on. Right now, it's not even right now. Right the moment the U.S. withdrew their aid, a state of emergency should have been declared on antiretroviral drugs, on TB drugs, on some other interventionist agencies that rely on U.S. aid. That should have been a priority of this government, and it's quite unfortunate. It's disappointing. It's ridiculous to think that we're still pledging 700 billion. We are still in the process of pledging. As far as we know this morning, unless we're wrong, as far as we know this morning, it's still at the level of pledge. And you know what that means? Look, we'll not get plan for you people. Well, we go try, shall we'll give you 700. We go try. For your own people. I mean, naturally, HIV/AIDS is not a death sentence, but with Nigerian government, it could jolly well be a death sentence right the moment the US withdraw that aid. I'm not saying this to scare you. If you rely on those drugs, you know how much you're buying it now, right? It's extremely expensive right now as against what was before. This is the premium your government puts on people who rely heavily on government support. What's the time? Okay, I have a few more minutes left. Let me take this message here. This person says, I keep hearing God will help us. God has already helped us, but we are to fight for ourselves. No name attached to that. I've got another one here that says, blowing up of pipeline is not knockout. The real damage has not started according to the militants. It is the Nigerian economy that would experience setback and not Fubara. Tinubu didn't consider the implication before the declaration of state of emergency in Rivers State vis-a-vis the governor's removal. I wish Nigeria well in the days ahead. No name attached to this as well, but thank you for sharing your thought on this conversation. I have another message here that says, on the militants regrouping, from my own perspective, I think the people blaming the president on declaration and suspension of the governor should rethink the other way around. If the state of emergency was not declared, the State Assembly has concluded to impeach the governor, then the militants and the whole city would have been boiling by now, and the so-called militants would have scattered everywhere. May the Lord help us in this country, Nigeria. Tunde from Yaba sent that in on WhatsApp. I've got another one here. I'm trying to take as many as possible before I go this morning. Can I even take this one to start with? Okay, let me try. Let me just try and take this one. Jeremiah from Ikeja says, good morning, Sheriff. It's disastrous and unwelcomed. One, that militants have resumed bombing again because of state of emergency declared by someone whose election to power has become a shame and contempt to us as a country. It's not a welcome one at all. Neither is Tinubu's state of emergency declaration in Rivers State. God deliver Nigeria from the hand of politicians in Jesus' name. That's Jeremiah from Ikeja. Jeremiah, thank you for sharing your thought. Can I squeeze in one more? I think I can. I think I should. I just closed from work this morning and I'm happy to hear your voice. I don't know the way forward for a great country like Nigeria. Sheriff uses medium to pray for us. So, pray, come on, y'all. Chabolongo from France. Thank you for sharing your thoughts. Pray God, pray me. I'm sorry, bro. I'm way past that. You're going to sort yourself out. Lawrence from Magmore. Lawrence, I'm sorry, but let me see if I can take a part of your message. ECOWAS road from Agbara to Badagry needs no compensation or settling any traditional ruler, because that road has been long aligned, leaving enough space for the project. Okay, well, I didn't know that. I was just, saying generally, and I hope that, that's what you have said is the truth. I didn't know that. But if it's been there for a long time, then they can do it now. No problem. As long as it's not going to affect anybody's livelihood. As long as it's not going to affect them, then they're good to go. Lagos, that's our show. I'm going to step aside now. Kofi will be back in here to conclude on the morning crossfire, okay? Stay here on Nigeria Info 99.3 Lagos. Top of the morning to you.
We bring it all on the table, as plain as it can be.
For conversations you want to get involved with,
and the ones you shouldn't.
No holds barred.
Only on your number one station for talk. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.